Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I hope you guys are all having a relaxing, nice weekend. I just went on a little journey today to a psychic fair with my soul sister today, who I love, 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 and she's the artist that did that one work of art of me looking like basically a boob with a heart head and a yellow dress. She is a beautiful soul, and I just found out today that she is going to be moving away for a while, and I almost burst out into tears in the middle of this psychic fair when I found out. And then I was like, wait a minute, you already know that everything is temporary. And right away my heart got calm and my mind said, she's only going for a short time and a visit and she'll be back soon. And I felt so calm. But immediately when we hear bad news or we hear we're going to be separated from somebody, it causes us that initial pain. But I was able to correct myself by stopping, listening to my guides in my heart, and knowing that everything is temporary and it shifts on a dime, and time just ebbs and flows and brings people back to us all the time. And then I thought, well, who are you, you crazy person? You actually let a year go by where you didn't even spend time with her. You just text with her because you thought you had all this time. So that just taught me, to really pay attention to facets of my life that I just let breeze by, expecting them to always be there. So I came up with this topic: what facets of our life need attention? So we're going to have a 3-card spread with that, because I was dumbfounded that, wow, I do take for granted that my friends are always going to live close by, that, my family is always going to be around. So that made me cherish every second with her at this fair. And she is the wonderful artist I'm going to be developing the oracle deck with, and she is the most beautiful soul and wonderful, wonderful lady, and she's from Greece, and she has the most purest heart. And I was just like, my heart just stopped when I heard that, and I almost just like went off kilter. And then I realized, hey, you know about these things, that everything's all right, and everything comes back to us, and we always have to know that the people we love are always close by in some form or another. So how we're going to do this is, number 1 is going to be new life, stack 1, whatever attracts you. Number 2 is breathe, and number 3 is deep knowing. So I'll shuffle and I will do the first one first. And how I figure it doesn't get confusing is I'm just going to do 1 stack at a time, remove that, then put the second stack. So yeah, I was just at the psychic fair and it was really amazing. There's all these sort of kindred spirits and beautiful people there. And yeah, it was really cool. Great stones and rocks, and I got some beautiful things. I got this crystal today. I want to wire wrap. I really love this. There's an old gentleman that goes around to schools with all his crystals, and he teaches the children about them. And I got a selenite that I gave to Eleni, and it was, oh wow, it was something else. So yeah, you guys, and thank you for all your beautiful comments. I'm so I'll do 4 each. Okay, so we'll start with the first pile, which is the new life. And that's funny, I just chose these randomly because that's going to be Eleni's journey for a little while, is going to spend time with her son and her grandchildren. But she loves this area, and so she was sad, and we snapped out of it. And by the end of it, we were looking at our artwork and planning our oracle deck and laughing at this psychic fair town over, and everybody was kind of like, we changed the energy of the room with that, because when people saw us crying at the beginning, everybody stopped and was looking at us like, yeah, it was some heavy hitting stuff. And then we're like, oh man, we better reshift this. People came here to hear things, to be happy. It was crazy. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have the Queen of Cups, we have the Hierophant, we have the 4 of Pentacles, and we have the 5 of Pentacles. So let's see what facets of your life needs looking at. Okay. Okay, so for some of you, I definitely see the financials needs a little looking into. I feel like sometimes we can breeze over our financial, our pure numbers that we have to work with and what we want in terms of credit. I feel like a few of you like to put a lot on your credit card, which, hey, who doesn't when money feels invisible on plastic like that anyway, right? You're like, oh, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. We need to take a solid look at, what kind of credit do we want to develop? How, down the line, do we want to purchase cars, have mortgages, things like that? Because credit, unfortunately, is an important part of our financials, and they are looked at. Even, I think our credit scores are now even looked at when you go to apply for new jobs. So again, expenditures, how much stuff do we really need? Like, I wonder a few of you, I have to do this to myself. If I'm in a store, wherever I'm at, especially a crystal or bead shop, is ask yourself, how much do I really need this? And what mood are you in when you're going to buy it? Are you anxious and you think it's going to fill a void? I try never to go to the grocery store when I'm hungry. It's the same thing to never go out and make purchases when you're in a state of angst or you feel a lack, because you feel like you can fill that lack with purchasing whatever it is, jewelry, clothing, shoes. I feel like a lot of you are like shoes and you like accessories and things like that. And I mean, I used to be guilty of that too. I still am. If I go on Amazon and I see things, what I do is I squirrel away. I go, well, what if I don't feel like going to the store and I need this? So I'll make sure I have this and that. Like I just had my winter gloves come today. Just one of those weird things. But again, to take a look at that. Also, some of you too, an aspect I feel that you should look into, and I feel is trying to come to you, is some spiritual answers with the Hierophant. If you look closely at it, you can see the keys that are on the carpet in front of him. Quite a few of you are searching spiritual answers, and you're realizing the power of the law of attraction, the power of manifestation, the power of being able to bring love to you simply by being loving yourself and caring for yourself and connecting with other people by smiling. Like at this fair today, I had a very wonderful, profound conversation with many other psychics and just people at the fair that were selling jewelry and were there along by just slowing down and really listening to what they were saying, because people really just like to be heard and connect, and they're lovely, gentle people. And they're afraid of the outside world somewhat. Like somebody was saying how people are always going on, well, how can I win lotto? If you're a psychic, how can I win lotto? How can I do this and that? And they say that it's so hard sometimes for them to get the point across that when it's all about you receiving and not for the energy of everybody as a whole, it gets a little hard to deal with. And I can definitely see that, you know what I mean? It's like that conversation runs its course pretty quickly, and you want people to have the best elements to work with. And it's not just think of lotto, how many people's lives it destroys when all your relatives come out of the woodwork and couples split up and people go absolutely crazy, you know, because it's a large life shift when you all of a sudden are made a millionaire and you don't know about investing or financials and things like that, or you don't have perhaps family that's very supportive around. But basically, just by looking around at all these people, I feel like you have this opportunity for a very strong understanding that basically you're like a little bird and nectar is everywhere. You know, your spirit is reminding you, just fly from flower to flower and be present and absorb all the beauty that's around you. And, you know, notice there's blossoms everywhere and all the lovely scents, and using your five senses and really feeling how alive you are. You know what I mean? Not going through the motions. That's something I feel like some of you need to just sort of wake up a little more and go, wow, these colors are really beautiful and vivid. Wow, this music sounds amazing. This food tastes delicious. The five senses that bring you alive and closer to who you are and what you like and what attracts you and what drives your passion. It really adds vitality and zest to your life, 100%. So to just sort of break out of that same old, because when we do the same things, eat the same time, drive the same routes to work, all that stuff, we just sort of are on a hamster wheel of doing the same things and repetitive actions. It doesn't help us expand and grow and learn great things, right? And I love this too right now with the Five of Pentacles and also the Four of Pentacles. This is also, it's definitely about financials and watching and investing wisely and starting to save a little bit, but also to have a better relationship with money, not have that lack mentality or fear like, if I buy this then I can't have that. Always know there'll be enough. That sense of abundance and that law of attraction will always bring that money back to you, and in larger sums when you realize it's already there. There's tons of money that you're not fretting about it constantly, because then it has a hold on you, and then it's a fear-based exchange and relationship when it comes to money. So just know that there'll always be more. There's an abundance around, and to have a healthy relationship with it. And as the Queen of Cups, another facet of your life too is, I feel like this is for a select few of you, stop giving your time so generously to others that don't deserve it. I feel like there's a great many of you that you are just giving by nature, and you're pleasant and lovely, and you do want to do for others. But I feel like quite a few people are taking advantage of that. And when you're sometimes saying yes when you mean no, or you don't necessarily want to do something, people are like, but you've always done that before. They're starting to take you for granted, that you'll watch their children, that you'll go to the grocery store for them, that you will help them out in some way, shape, or form. And they are now sort of taking that for granted. But guess what? Your time is valuable. So rein that in and be like, wow, man, I want to do what I want to do now. And, you know, just sort of that aha moment of, okay, I want to go home and read a book and journal and chill out and do what I want to do. I don't necessarily want to watch my neighbor's children or walk their dog or whatever. It's just stand up and, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Respectfully, you know what I mean? But no, I'm sorry, my time is accounted for. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm going to pull you guys an animal card too, because I feel it was so weird to like be at a place with all these crystals and have so many restraints. And I was just like, felt like I bought the most beautiful stone, and I gave it to Indy. I gave it to Eleni. And at first, I was almost hesitant to do it because it was so beautiful, and it was just calling to me. And I love the angel stone, and I'm just looking and looking, and I thought when I gave it to Eleni and the look on her face, and she's like, I'm going to touch this thing all the time. It was so sweet. So let's see what the dove spirit has to say. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't think I've pulled this card yet or even read its meaning in the book. So yeah, I'm a little more sedate because I'm going to miss my friend, but I feel very balanced and nice having be around all these people that are so just, I don't know, these people, they're my people, and they're definitely my tribe. And it's funny how when you're in a building filled with people like that, how different the energy is. There was flute music playing, and it was amazing. I don't know what's going on, 21. I'm hoping the number comes up. I'm looking through the book because they always have, it doesn't match. 21. This is very bizarre. I think this was actually left out of the book. It's so bizarre. Oh, there we go. It was like hidden in the thing. Okay, so dove spirit. Be peace. Oracle messages. With her peaceful cooing and gentle dove spirit, you're invited to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you. And the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within you, to embody tranquility above, below, and all around you. Much can be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? The peace you seek rises within and spreads out in the world of spirit as she sends her messenger to remind you of the beauty and harmonious existence that is all of us. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart. That is beautiful. And that's your message too, for that to be one of the facets you pay attention to. If you're caught in the midst of a large group and there's, you know, a battle to be the alpha, the battle to have the last word, whatever is happening at that moment, to just step away and go, this is not my dog fight. I do not have a dog in this fight. I do not need to participate with argumentative people, with arrogant people, with obnoxious people, with people that just need to win. You just step back, you hold in your energy, relax, and then you become the observer, which is powerful in itself, because you're just at peace and you're realizing it for the kind of whack job television show that it is, as opposed to a reality you want to participate in, right? So that's you guys. Beautiful. So that was number one. If you guys are new, don't forget to press like and subscribe. Press that subscribe and that bell button too right next to it, so you'll get notifications. All my links are below if you guys need any private reads, and I'm also on Instantgo as well for like quick, within the hour or two responses. It's a really cool thing to have, especially I know some of you when you're going on dates or you're going to certain functions and you just want a quick sort of solution to stuff. It's very helpful. So there's that as well. So that was you, number one, and now we're going to go on to number two, which is breathe. That's another thing in this building. with all these psychics and readers and people, it's like I felt my breathing slow, my heart rate slow. It had a lot had to do with the beautiful music. It was like chimes and flutes and things that was just gorgeous. I mean, it was wonderful to have that all around. And yeah, and my friend is, we're so silly together because she's amazing, and I really probably understand. She understands maybe 40% of what I'm saying when I'm speaking. So the other time when I just see that blank look on her face, because I know when I'm saying a word she doesn't understand, we just start laughing, and then I make up like a totally make up believe word, and then I go, yeah, you know what I mean? And then she'll know I'm making up a word, and I'll just start laughing. All the psychics were staring at us. So funny. Four of Wands. Okay, so again, this is what facet of my life needs attention, because sometimes we just overlook certain things, right? We are our thoughts, and our dominant thoughts is where our focus goes, right? And sometimes what can fall by the wayside, maybe family, maybe diet, maybe money, maybe hygiene, maybe whatever. It's all different with people, right? When I get into my artwork and stuff, it's definitely, the house looks like a disaster area because I'll pull out all my props, I'll pull out everything, and my jewelry, my beads, and everything will be everywhere, and then you just get tired. So other facets go by, and then I won't even eat till Ian gets home. So we really need to watch our full spectrum of care here. So here we have the Three of Cups, Death, Four of Wands, and King of Swords. Okay, I feel with this, a few of you are like hoarders. You need to let go of stuff. I feel like you're collecting too many things. Not so much, I feel like you're placing, you're placing value on stuff that may not necessarily have value like you may think it has. And let's put it this way, unless it's given to you and it's very special and has sentimental value, which everything cannot have sentimental value. We know that, right? I have friends' parents who are hoarders, and it's very tough on them. My one friend, her mom keeps stuff in her car and bought another car to keep stuff in that car because she was hiding it from her daughter. And this was years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh. And what happens when we do that? We're like, oh, this is sentimental. Things are things. Things are not people. People have to come before things. And what do people need? They need relationships, love, room to move. When things start to take up your actual physical space, that's not healthy. So I'm not saying everybody out there is a hoarder. There's a select few. I feel like this is the Death card is saying this to me, that let go of these extra things you do not need. You don't have to dig through 15 laundry baskets of old coats and clothes that are covered in cat hair or stuff that you are not wearing but you don't want to let go of, but they might not even fit you, or you've never worn them before, but you just keep buying more and more and you're not letting them go. So you can't find your real clothes and your real things you need. There is when you start to get cluttered too, it affects your logical mind and how it thinks as well. Who wants to be searching under stacks and stacks and stacks for things? How much time is wasted digging through old magazines looking for that one thing? Now in the age of computers, we can find our information quickly. Also with these two, yeah, Four of Wands, I feel like quite a few of you, a facet of your life that's being neglected is your social life. I feel like you're working a little too hard. You're pulling long hours. I believe a lot of you, you're doing startups. You're very business savvy and you want it to be right. But because of that, you're sort of neglecting the social animal in you that goes out and meets people. And actually, that's how you begin to date and attract, you know, soul companions and loved ones and spouses, is out in the social world. But I feel like a lot of you are just diving so deep into your work that you're forgetting to pop your head out and go, oh wow, you know what, I'm also a social creature and I should go meet people and just anywhere, restaurants, accept invitations, any of those things, you know what I mean? King of Swords, I feel like a few of you have good ideas and you're having a lot of notions and creativity and stuff like that, and I feel like you should surround yourself with supportive people that you can talk these issues over with, because I feel like you're on the verge of developing some kind of really cool thing, but you're keeping it to yourself because a little bit of fear that it might not be top shelf enough or the best idea. But guess what, how we make our ideas better and better is we discuss them with people, like Eleni and I today talking about the oracle cards. We got more and more better ideas by bouncing the ideas off one another. So yes, share your ideas. I feel like that's a facet, your creative side, your writer side, this and that. Again, the Three of Cups is very similar to this to me. It's the social aspect. I feel like You should share your good news with your friends. Not be so much on social medias, be in reality. You know what I mean? Stop contacting people through Instagram and all those other things and whatever those little chat rooms are. You need to be one-on-one with people and actually have conversations with people, because what happens is it's a non-reality. Yes, we're speaking, but we're speaking digital words. We don't see facial expressions. We're not getting that human comfort and warmth of an actual person across from us, which we all need. You know what I mean? It's a different animal. I do not, people don't know, that don't know me, could not like know this strongly enough how much I hate the telephone, because I can't read facial expressions. I can read tone of voice, and I'm quite clairaudient, but I get really upset when I can't see facial expressions, and I can't wait to get off the phone fast enough. I've never been a phone person. I've never liked it. Now, if I can see your face and it's like on a Skype thing, that's a totally different picture. It's weird, the things that we, how we communicate as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, more people. Say yes, go out with people. When you're online with somebody, just chatting away, say, hey, would you like to go get a cup of coffee and this and that? Nothing beats human-to-human contact in this. Let's see, we're going to pull an oracle card for you guys, too. I hope you're having a good weekend. Ooh, the lion spirit. And we're pulling an animal oracle card. Yeah, I just have both my books right near me, and I'm just going with the flow today, because I feel really peaceful and light now that I helped sort of come to some conclusions and help my friend, because she was in such a rough spot. She has fear involved with moving and packing up her paintings, and it was like so anxiety reading. It was so weird to just burst out crying like in the middle of this psychic fair, because I was going to miss her, and I was like, whoa, it's, everything's fine, all will be well. Just, it's, you know, it's weird when you just love someone and you know that your life is better because they're there, and then they can't be there. But guess what? They can be there. We have all these devices where we can be in contact all the time. So let's see what the lion spirit says. Be generous of spirit. The oracle message is, a healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Lion spirit appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of pride and a healthy sense of worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. You are both king, the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom of the generous spirit to help you help others. Yeah, that's a good little message for you too, right? Have pride in yourself. Know you're of value. Know your worth. Stand up for yourself if anybody's ever trying to take advantage of you or make you feel less than. We are all energy. We are all spirit. We are all equal. We are here to help one another, not to try to put others down or diminish them to elevate ourselves. So if you see other people doing it, just recognize it for what it is. It's just petty and small behavior, and just keep it moving from there, right? And be like, I'm Katy Perry. Okay, so that's number 2. So don't forget to press like and press subscribe and the little bell so you can get the notifications. And underneath my links, where you press underneath there, all my links are there for my private reads and the Patreon page and Instantgo, all those fun things. So if you guys need any help, all the links are right there. All right, let's go on to number 3. Ooh, the Empress. Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups. King of Wands. Whoa, wow. Ooh, wands and wands and wands and wands. Look at that. Love that deep, rich plum. That's so beautiful. Let me get these up a little further. Let me see. Wow, that's really good. The Emperor. Okay, for some of this, some facets of your lives that need a little bit of attention is, I feel like some of you should let your guard down a little bit. I'm hearing that you're a little guarded when you go out, sort of what you feel others' intentions are. I feel like you don't always start off on the avenue of, oh, this person is cool, this person is chill. I feel like you're a little higher on the skeptical grid, but I mean, that's just our personalities. But that's one of those things, just whenever I feel like that, I just try to say the word allow, allow, allow over and over to myself. You know what I mean? And you just await further signs of them being a great person. You know what I mean? because we all want to forgive sincerely, dare greatly, love deeply, all of those things, right, that make our life have impact and give us a pow and provide us with wisdom that is really available to us all times, to accept people unconditionally and try to do things spontaneously and just have fun and not put parameters, not be judgmental, you know what I mean, not be skeptical of people. Because it's funny, a lot of times when you hear people speak, and I thought this was so unique when I heard this years ago, that the person usually that's speaking, the words that come out of their mouth is usually how they feel about themselves or others also feel about them. So if somebody's like, oh wow, she's very open-hearted, kind and wonderful and this and that, that's usually the self-respect they have of themselves as well and how others see them. However, if they're like, oh, he's sneaky and he's double-handed, he's this and that, that is usually how others can perceive you as well. It's very strange, but those words coming out of your mouth make you seem rather mistrustful, because if you're speaking about that about one person, the person you're speaking to is thinking you'll probably talk that way about them as well. You know what I mean? It's a very, very strange scenario. So yeah, we try to take care of like how we speak verbally about other people, because it can easily come back and just cast a shadow over like your personality as well. Yeah, so we want to be easy breezy and be accepting of people, right? I feel like you're working on that too. Some of the feelings I get is a lot of times you're busy and you're trying to do your work, and you do have people that feel like they're constantly coming in your lane, and they don't need to be there necessarily. And I feel like, yes, it is bothersome. Of course, you're trying to hum along and do your thing, and then you have coworkers or whomever that come in with their opinions, and everybody loves to share their opinions, especially on your work or what you're doing, right? And right when you're in the middle of it and busy, it's not always received well. But I used to do this at work when people would do that. I'll go, thank you very much for your input, and then I'd just keep it moving, because you realize there are some people, they can't, their energy is all over the place. They have monkey minds, you know, they're not going to be that person that's focused. So it's like they want to know what everybody else is doing. They're insecure, so they can be all over. So I feel like a few of you, some of the stuff that can be worked on, and I need this as well a lot of the times, is tolerance. Tolerance from people trying to come in your lane, trying to make comments on what you're doing, what you're wearing, where you're going, all those things. You know, it's almost like static in your head when you're trying to concentrate on, oh, you're really going to do it that way. Oh, you're really going to wear that, or you're going to do that and that. Just those little people, and they're going to be everywhere, just interloping into the scene. You know, just be like, oh, thank you for your input, and then completely keep it moving and rise above. Then you'll have your focus for these moments when you're the King of Wands and the Empress, because I feel like a facet in your life you are concentrating on and you're doing very well at. It's just being a graceful presence. I feel like where you are, you're very welcome. When you come in the room, people are actually very relieved and happy to see you. They see you as someone who's confident and competent and kind. And that's super important, because instead of being seen, you know, as somebody who's like important and wealthy and somebody to be reckoned with or whatever, it's always better to just be seen as a kind, loving individual that's, you know, that thinks about other people, right? Because selfishness does not get people very far. I don't know why they think, okay, if you're selfish, you may acquire more stuff because you're like doing a mad grab for things or whatever. But in the end, it's only things. And when you put things before people, it usually doesn't end up well. And you're the opposite of that, because you've come to conclusions in your life that you're not going to settle for people that aggravate you, that always want things, that are you know, gossipy or not the best for you. At people, places, and things, you're simply leaving them when they no longer suit you. You're outgrowing a lot of people, places, and things. I can feel that. You're becoming more refined, you're becoming more selective, and you're rising above all the silliness. Again, with the King of Wands too, and that's fire and that's passion. I feel like your creativity is now calling to you. So really listen to that. If you get an inkling to go paint or go take pictures of something beautiful, to knit, crochet, make jewelry, any of those things, grab onto that. Like, listen to that voice in your head. That is your inner child saying, guess what? You need to enjoy life. You need to savor things and create, make something that was never here before. Yeah, I can't tell you how fulfilling that is, to start with just like bits and pieces of something and put it all together as a whole finished piece. It's amazing. You have the materials and then poof, you make something out of it. It's so wonderful. It really is very fulfilling. It also does something inside the chemicals in your brain. First, relaxing and absorbing your attention completely, which is always good for you because then you're in a very mellow, concentrated state. You don't have those little niggling things that we don't need anyway, like worry or, well, and fear or any of those things that can creep in when you have too much time on your hands, right? So many people tend to go to the worrying, oh, I might not have enough money for this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. Again, that's the lack consciousness, and we don't really want to leave a lot of time for that to creep in, especially before Christmas. Always just say your mantras. You know, I have plenty. I am abundant. I have abundance and love and great relationships coming to me every day. All those positive things. So when you're engaged in whatever creative aspect that is, it brings in, and these I feel like are in conjunction. There is a lot of ideas in your head. Now act on them. You know what I mean? If we always say, oh, tomorrow, 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 that will come way too quickly, you know what I mean? And then you may not have the time you have right now. So let's see, we're going to pull an oracle card for this too. Exchanging gifts. Oh, I love this. Yeah, I feel like really now is a time where you are going to feel fulfilled in a giving nature. Like, just say you're bringing somebody flowers, something that they like to eat. You're out at your lunch break and you grab somebody else a coffee. That's going to be very fulfilling and heart opening too, because you realize that it lifts you just as much as the other person when you give them a gift. And it's weird, once you start doing that, you're going to start receiving gifts. It's very strange. Like, I've always been a giver, so I'm almost shocked when people give me things just out of the blue. And I remember on a couple occasions at work, like, people knew I liked these specific kind of coffee drinks, and they would first, the barista knew how to make it, and they would make it perfectly for me and bring it to me. And it would almost set me in tears, because I'm like, wow, somebody took like 5 minutes of their 15-minute break to get me this fantastic coffee. And like, the gratitude that would like just spring up in my heart for somebody doing that, giving me their very limited time to get me something they knew I'd love, was so heartwarming that it's contagious. It is absolutely 100% contagious. You watch, joy is contagious, giving is contagious, love is contagious. And once you start moving down that avenue, it's like a drug. You really can't get enough of it, because you're like, look at that smile, look how happy that person is. When people think of other people and go out of their way to do something nice for them, it is the most wonderful feeling, and you know that, right? And that's going to start happening to you. And I feel like that's a facet of your life sometimes in your hurried thing that you overlooked, and you're going to reestablish that, and you're going to feel really light and happy because of it. So that's wonderful, you guys. I'm very excited. So don't forget to press like and press subscribe and the bell down there so you can get all the it's so funny, that word always escapes me when I'm like, notifications just escapes me. I don't know why I don't love that word, notifications. You will get the divine bell that is coming a ding-a-ling-a-ling. But anyway, you guys, thanks again for all your lovely comments. You're absolutely the best. And I couldn't have better viewers and subscribers. You guys are the bomb. And all my links are below if you guys need any private reads or Instantgo or anything like that. Again, I hope you're having a great weekend, and we will get this out for you guys.